because a lot of people listen to my work, my earlier work when I was doing Latin hip hop and reggaeton and rap and whatever, those productions. They're like, damn, you stem from a variety of different genres. And I'm like, yeah. And I remember a story of when I met the Fat Boys. That these guys were huge with their human beatbox and at the time they were like huge. So I remember they did a concert, a local concert, over in my old neighborhood. And they were behind this I wouldn't say a screen, but it was a fenced off area where they had the artist hanging out back there. And of course the stage was like right next to that. So it would be the fence and then the stage. So they would be behind the fence and they would walk onto the stage. And that's how we would see them as the audience, as the crowd. And I remember standing on the side because I always like to see behind the scenes of what's going on with artists. And I was never just, okay, you know, a fan. Woo, yeah. I like to see the going ons of the industry from behind the scenes as well, which is where I like to be. And there was a riot that broke out from behind where I was there behind the fence. Something's happening behind me over here. And the story gets crazy of what it was that did occur. But when they started scattering the crowd and running and pushing, whatever, it's just amazing how certain people are who don't feel like they're above anyone. I remember the Fat Boys had said, run to the end of the fence and come around so you can come to this side. Now, mind you, I was the only one there because I was talking with them, getting, you know, like you guys, I love the beatbox. I used to do it at the time too. So we had that in common. And when that had broke out, he said, run to the end and come around, come to the other side. So that's exactly what I did. I ran, and here I am with the Fat Boys in their area, hanging with them while there was a riot going on out here. To find out what it was a pit bull was let loose on someone in the crowd and started attacking them. So then the cops came and went to shoot at I mean, it was a big thing. All I know is that I felt safe. I mean, bullets do travel, but I think they hit the dog, and that's where the story ended with that. But I also remember, again, how humble certain people are, and the Fat Boys, they were there. I mean, they went on to do more albums and even movies, like The Disorderly is a funny movie. But again, I remember meeting them, hanging with them right before their show when that had broke out. And I remember that you don't think about these things at the time, but when I finally got home, my mother and my sister, I remember, were hysterical. Like, oh my God, worried, because they knew what had happened right down the block from our house. And they were, I'm like, why are you guys worrying? What's the problem? When I told them the story, they could not just believe. They were like, are you serious? Here we are worrying about what's going on with you, and you're hanging out with the Fat Boys behind the stage, behind the scenes, safely, because it was behind some fence over there. But yeah, that's another story that I rarely share. My sister probably still remembers that story, because I had to tell her what was going on. That was fine. But yeah, that was my experience of hanging out briefly and then meeting the Fat Boys.